Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight, Australia, season 11, episode 12. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Happy Valentine's Day to all the lonely lover girls like me, and lover boys, and lover people. Happy Valentine's Day to you all, child. This show is making it seem like marriage isn't even worth it. So it's probably for the best that I'm single on today. Okay. Why did maths take 20 minutes? 20 minutes to recap the week. Were we not there? I felt like we were present. I was there. Were you there? I think you were there. So like 20 minutes? It's a little bit much. It's a little bit much. Anyways, Sarah and Tim are the first to arrive at the cocktail portion of the dinner party. Honey, the tension was tensioning.
Ooh. Very separate entrance.
Frosty.
Frosty, icy.
It just feels like you're not taking responsibility for bailing on our shit, you know?
Why can't you just run with how we were going at that point in time? I can't give you any more than I'm giving you right now.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
It is very clear that as of today, these two cannot stand each other. And Sarah had the audacity to ask Tim what more she could give. She's given all that she could give. Have you? If you feel like you've done all that you can, please tell me what you have done. What have you done? Oh, that's what I thought. Nothing. Girl, Sarah is so, I'm fully convinced she has a man on the outside. And then in the preview for the next episode on Sunday, it sounds like she's going to admit to it. She got a man. She absolutely got a man. So Ben is aware that Ellie told the group some information about their marriage. So he's on the defense when they come to the cocktail party. Now, apparently, Ben has been saying more things than just the whole mocking situation. So we already know they're not on the same page when it comes to kids, even though he's going to lie to her face or misrepresent the truth. I think that's a better way to say it. I think he's misrepresenting his truth. Then he mocked her for her being like, no, I believe you, regarding him being in the process for the right intentions. They had another dinner or something. Maybe they should stop going on dates. That's the conclusion that I'm coming to. They had another conversation where it wasn't on a date. I think it was in bed. He said that he doesn't think that they are well suited. He doesn't think that she is the match for him. But apparently he softened it with all these gifts and is trying to woo her. It's working on her, and it really shouldn't be working.
She obviously told us about dinner and the blow up, and
Your Ellie says one thing and you say something else.
I was nearly going to walk out of the experiment.
Really?
Yeah, it's just...
What?
It had nothing to do with Ellie.
Wait, had nothing to do with Ellie.
Really?
You told her that she wasn't your match. So it wasn't not to do with Ellie, so that's bullshit. I call bullshit.
You know, he's brought me flowers, wine, cooked me dinner, and has written me a long list of everything he loves about me. And you know, he really regrets saying it, and I do believe that he does.
Everybody is clocking Ben's move. They don't believe this switch up at all. For some reason, Ellie seems to believe that if he just butters her up, then everything he says is null and void. Girl, what is going on with you? Okay. I don't know if this would classify as breadcrumbing, because honestly, when it comes to all these new relationship jargon, I don't know any of it. But my understanding of breadcrumbing is giving a woman very little, but just enough to keep them on the hook. I think that's what Ben is doing with Ellie. Because he obviously does not want to be with her, or doesn't even want to be with women. And that's not to say that he is gay. I think that he has this perception of women that just, to me, sounds like he doesn't like us. Do you like women? It doesn't sound like you do. And he definitely does not like Ellie. It couldn't be more clear that he's here for clout. And unfortunately, the only person who doesn't see it is Ellie. Another husband who is in the mix is Timothy. Apparently, Timothy and Tori had a run-in before the dinner party where he said he calls BS on Jack's slow burn claims, and that he's going to come for them at the dinner party. I think that's very rich considering what he's going through. He's basically saying the same thing as Jack. His is just a little bit more believable, but you're in the same boat, are you not? At the bachelor party, it was made clear that you are a more sexual person than you have been in this experiment. Same thing happened with Jack. Once you got with your women, you haven't been sexual. Same thing happened with Jack. And you claim that you typically are a slow burn person. Now, that isn't what Jack has said, but he's saying right now that he's a slow burn. So, like, Timothy, I don't know if this is your fight, but he's choosing to fight regardless.
So what were the comments? Like, it's about me and my wife.
Oh,
what were they?
Whether it's real or not. You're a sexual person. It's not happening. There's no problem with having an opinion. As much as you want to throw it back at me, the slow burn thing is actually real.
Tim, I just think you're clutching, buddy. Like, you're clutching at nothing.
So that's an opinion.
When it comes to Jack, I absolutely side with Timothy in the sense that it's total BS. It is total BS. We know he don't like her like that. But is he going to tell Tori? Absolutely not. Because probably like Ben, Jack is here for the platform. Jack is here for the notoriety. He's here for the fame of it all. If maths really gives you fame. I don't know. I'm not in Australia, so I don't know what kind of effect it has on people's daily life. But Timothy says it is his duty to speak his mind and to scrutinize the couples. This is not a, what did he say? Did he say this is a democracy or this is not a democracy? I don't even think he said the word democracy. I forget what he said. But the point is, he is allowed to scrutinize other people. So I'm here like, okay. Now don't be shocked and surprised when people choose to scrutinize your own situation, because it is very clear that you aren't into Lucinda. And your slow burn claims could be true, but it kind of goes against the person who you portrayed to be at the beginning of this process. So here is Lucinda witnessing the back and forth, and it's very overwhelming for her. She decides to tell the group that she's taking her time to also figure out Timothy and her connection. She's taking time to figure out their connection. So even though he's a slow burn, she's analyzing things herself. So they don't have to fight on her behalf. Why did Timothy, who exposed it? I forget who exposed it, but Timothy co-signed. I don't think he meant to, but he did. That he had been with women as young as 23 years old. So the bullshit that you're trying to call Jack out on, I'm calling you out on it too, because did he not say he didn't want to do the photo ranking challenge because of the age of the women? I think it was Lucinda who said that ranking feels a little dehumanizing, but he emphasized the fact that the women were young. Nobody in this process is 23. But you've been with a 23-year-old? Huh? Make it make sense, Timothy. Make it make sense. This man, I will keep on saying that Timothy definitely deserved somebody like Lucinda, because Lucinda challenges him, but Lucinda does not deserve Timothy. I fully believe that Lucinda deserves better. Let's move on. Cassandra is feeling hopeful about her marriage because Tristan has been trying really hard to woo her in the past few days.
What's up, honey?
Okay?
Yeah, it's tight.
Tristan, from the moment he put this ring on my finger, has treated me with care, respect, and we are working through a shit ton, excuse my language, but we are.
Brought flowers for my lovely lady.
Did you? The biggest flowers I've ever seen in my life. Really? Yeah.
I'm really glad that things are looking up for them. It seems like Tristan is more self-assured. I still don't see it for them long term. I just don't. I do think that this process is going to build Tristan a lot. I think his confidence is going to go up. Yeah, I think his confidence is going to go up. I think his ability to speak up, express himself, I think that's going to improve as well. But I think this process is going to bring Cassandra down. by way of being partnered with somebody like Tristan. It feels like such an emotional burden to have to be Tristan's rock for Cassandra. Some people can't do it. I think somebody like Lucinda, if she was partnered up with a personality like Tristan's, I think it could be mutually beneficial because Lucinda is more naturally in a space to carry somebody up. But I feel like Cassandra needs the rock. It's great that things are building, attraction is building, she's feeling more confident about the relationship, but in the long run, I don't see it for them. I really don't. So, Tim is asked how his marriage is going. And Sarah is worse than a brick wall. Like, she is very unrelenting, just digging her heels into the dirt. And I don't even think that she realizes that the more she does this, the more the group is actually siding with Tim. She's trying to make her case, but it's working against her rather than in her favor.
I'm being portrayed as like a needy, like insecure person.
Living together with a man 24 hours a day is a lot for a lot of us, as we can all agree.
Sarah, you've cancelled on 3 dates. Your purpose and priority is your husband to be here and to try and make it work.
I was like, you're booked out from 2 p.m. Where's
No, you
something
didn't.
nice?
You didn't.
Yes,
That
I
was-
did.
That was the third.
No, you can't shut me down.
Yell at me. Don't you ever yell at me.
Sarah.
You prick.
When you really raise your voice at people in front of other people, it's embarrassing. But Sarah girl, you was piping up the entire time and nobody came for you ever. Nobody told you to pipe down. Nobody said, hey, don't yell at him. Like, nobody said anything. So for her to be offended that Tim was at his wit's end and decided to match her energy is uncalled for. Girl, what are you offended for? You were yelling too. And that was absolutely embarrassing for Tim. So I feel like two things are true. Like, I did see his yelling. I was like, oh my gosh. But then I was like, no, she's been yelling the whole time. Like, she's moving the goalpost because now she's saying that she canceled the first 2 dates because they weren't in a good place. And then she canceled the third one because, well, for 2 different reasons. She feels like he didn't adequately plan the date and he just said, hey, you're booked off in this time. Who cares? The fact is he had an intention to take you out. To me, that's enough. So girl, what are you talking about? And then secondly, she says that it is her right to want to go out with her friends and she shouldn't have to cancel her plans just to go on this date or whatever. You were made aware of the date before the plans. And also, the date didn't even clash with your plans because you went out the night prior. Your stupid ass went and got hungover and used that as an excuse to cancel these plans. If you want to be a responsible adult, if you want to be fully engaged in this marriage, you can choose to either drink less or not drink at all. Why are you acting like it's an obligation? Okay? It is an obligation for you to be fully present in this marriage. And I don't know if maybe you don't want to do it by way of dates, but you're definitely not doing it at all. So Sarah, girl, oh, she's so annoying. She is so annoying. Tim does feel bad for yelling. And again, like I said, like it was like, whew, but still, I think it's justified. I do think it's justified. So he apologizes for yelling. Sarah is not having it at all.
I wasn't able to finish what I was trying to say. That's why I raised my voice. So I apologize for raising my voice.
There's no reason for that to happen at all. You should never raise your voice at someone. Do not say that you didn't have time to speak. Don't say that. Don't say that, Tim. You had plenty of time to speak. Say how you feel on a normal day-to-day basis, and maybe you wouldn't blow up the way that you've blown up.
Sarah is such a dictator. This relationship must work on her terms and her terms alone. You're not going to be successful with anyone. With that mentality, you're not going to be successful with anyone. Now, when she was giving her stipulations, I will say Tim does need to speak up more. In my opinion, I think that he is walking on eggshells when it comes to Sarah, obviously, because she reacts like this. But I think that he needs to voice his opinion regardless of what her reaction is going to be, me personally. But then when she says, you should never raise your voice at me, wouldn't that apply to you too? There's a lot of double standards when it comes to Sarah. And listen, I was giving a double standard just earlier in this video, so I get it. But I'm like, don't hold this man up to a standard that you yourself can't even hold. What do you mean, don't ever yell at me? You've been yelling this entire time. And then she wants to play victim, getting up and crying and doing all this stuff. I'm sorry, just because you have tears does not make your feelings more valid than mine. Absolutely not. And then she's going to have an issue with the guys. She feels like the guys were egging Tim on. I didn't feel like they were. I think that they were just rallying behind him, which is different than egging on. You know what I'm saying? And what's the difference between the guys rallying behind Tim and the girls having a whole powwow around Sarah? Is that not the same thing? Is that not the same thing? And it's actually funny to see the women rally around Sarah because a lot of them even know that Sarah's actually in the wrong. But they just didn't want to make her feel bad. She stormed away. She was crying. You know, when people cry, you're more inclined to cater to them than the person who's not crying. So yeah, Sarah, no, you're for the birds. You might be an even worse bird than what's her name? What's that girl's name? Tori. Yeah. You and Tori just birds. Birds, birds, birds. Anyways, we're going to see on Sunday what the experts have to say. They have a lot of cussing out to do. Tori needs to be cussed out. Timothy needs to be cussed out. Ben needs to be cussed out. Yeah. Oh, Jack needs to be cussed. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. So as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.